How are you doing, sir?
Great. My chair. There we go. Now I'm doing great.
These are nice chairs.
These are a nice chair.
You went and bought me this whole chair so we could do this little podcast.
I did, because you were in the chair that we made Chase sit in, and it's not.
That's his chair that he sits in.
He's not getting a nice one.
No.
He's not getting
Everybody knows Lizard Lick Towing, right?
They should.
I feel like it's one of those shows that people watch to feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
But it's also good entertainment.
Definitely in that category.
But if I just want to see people act insane,
right,
and not be a part of the insanity, I just watch Lizard Lick Towing. It's great.
I do, and then so everyone says that, reality shows are scripted and they're all planned to a certain extent, but then Lizard Lick Towing, it's like, okay, none of this ever even happened. Like, this is scripted start to finish.
I wonder if it's an actual company though. Like, do they actually?
I don't know if that. I don't know.
Maybe they weren't getting good business, and so they're like, let's just make a TV show.
I don't doubt that maybe it was a real business and they were kind of interesting characters, and someone was like, we should make a show about them. But I think once the show was made, it was like, this is going to be fully scripted.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the worst scripted shows that there is.
It's pretty bad. What gets it with me is like, how is every repo they go on, no one's ever like, okay, all right, how can I get it?
It always ends in a fight or something's wrong.
Everyone just tries to do something insane. The one I actually watched, they were on a parking garage. So they were like 2 stories up, and the dude drove off, trying to drive off the parking garage down, and it was insane. Obviously not real.
That's not the only quality show that True TV's come out with, though.
True TV.
Have you seen Hardcore Pawn? Have you watched that one?
No, actually, I haven't.
We're going to review that one day, too.
Okay.
But that's a good... I mean, it's a pawn shop, right?
Right.
What could go wrong? It's bad, even if it wasn't scripted, which we know it is.
Right.
It's bad. No matter which way you look at it. If it's real life, it's bad.
I feel
if it's scripted, it's bad. Yeah, none of it makes sense.
No, none of it makes sense.
But it makes me happy to know that we could make a TV show and it'd still be better than that. You don't need good actors.
No, you don't.
You just hire people off the street.
They've clearly shown.
Tell them to act crazy, and that's it.
That's the formula for almost all.
What are we doing here?
Shows. I don't know. What is this? What is Nightmare with Friends? We need to go.
We can do that.
If you just do like a lawn care business.
Dude, I'm dead serious. Yeah, dude, we should do like one episode of that one day just to try it out. Let's just do. We'll do our own one-time episode, and then it'll be, we'll have our own little business made. We go cut the grass, and then we got Big Juicy coming out of the house.
Big Juicy.
Got to have a friend named Bobby. Chase can be Bobby.
Chase is Bobby. Someone go get Chase.
I can see why people watch it.
Now, what bothers me is, though, there are legitimately people. They're like, that is crazy, man. I would love to work there. I'm like, that is not real, but
it's kind of like
people think
that think wrestling's real still.
I don't know. Do you really think there's anybody out there that really believes it's not scripted?
100%. You can get on Facebook and you'll see a post that the WWE or whatever made. Right. And there'll be people on there talking like their world's out. Like, why is he being such a bad guy? Like, it's like they told him to be. That's why.
That's why.
Everybody should know at this point. I mean, you can't watch a whole wrestling show and not know that it's fake. You can't. It's like watching that.
Regardless, they're all incredible stuntmen. Like,
oh yes. I mean, I watch it sometimes too. I mean, it's really. I grew up watching it.
Yeah, I mean,
and the storylines are pretty cool sometimes when it's not cheesy. Sometimes it's pretty cheesy, but sometimes it's cool.
It can get cheesy.
But I mean, I'm a wrestling fan, but like I'm not. I know it's fake. There's a ceiling to it.
I mean, if you watch it, I can accept watching it as a drama. Like, this is scripted, but it's just like watching any other show.
You have to understand that it's fake to really enjoy it. I feel like
it's like watching a scripted TV show.
Yeah,
with really, really talented stuntmen, I guess.
And that's kind of cool when you think about it.
Yeah, I mean,
they're going out performing every night.
Right.
For WWE, at least, I know. I mean, they're just year round. They're constantly traveling to the next place. Like, I don't know how they have time at home, but
they don't.
Unless they get injured.
A lot of wrestlers. Things have not gone great with the family life. Who was the wrestler that wasn't there a wrestler that
Chris Benoit?
Yeah,
killed his family.
Yeah, not great.
That was crazy. I was normal watcher of wrestling back at that time period, and I still remember when it happened. And crazy. They would like say it. Some people think it was steroids that caused
Roid
it.
rage.
And some people think that it's because he hit his head so many times that he literally like he had some
CTE?
kind of He had like the brain of like an 80-year-old.
I'm sure it's a mixture. I'm sure all of that.
That's what I think. I think
roid
everything.
Rage, CTE, plus their marriage probably just wasn't.
I don't think that he was just a terrible person. I've looked into this stuff a lot. I don't think it was just him being a terrible killer person. I just think it was years and years of hitting his head and steroids and all that stuff. Pills too.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, but was there a wrestler? I know there was a wrestler, but I don't know if it was like WWE or if it was like some like one of the like smaller amateur. Did someone like mess up a stunt and like die?
That was.
They get like dropped from the ceiling.
Yeah,
or something?
Owen Hart, I think was his name.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, he fell. Yikes. I would never do that. Personally,
fall to your death? I hope
no, that either. But I would never fall to my death because I would never fly in the air like that.
Right, not a big fan.
And they were saying it was pretty risky when he did it. Like it wasn't like a pretty like really secure thing.
Yeah,
like,
I remember there being some controversy like that. Was
like you better get some experts in there.
Yeah,
to make sure I'm doing this right before I do it.
Right, because but they're insane for doing that. Like I took my daughter to the fair, like it used to just be once a year, but now it's twice a year. They have a smaller version that rolls out. So I went to it. That's a whole other story. I think I spent more there than I do at the regular fair. It was nuts.
They got all the food and stuff.
Everything's in half. Like so, the normal fair we have around November is about half of that. Gosh, I can't like the Ferris wheel. I was so glad my daughter was like, I don't want to do the Ferris wheel because I was like, good because I'm.
I don't trust any of those rides at all.
Dude, the Ferris wheel was.
That's my least favorite ride because it's so slow.
Yeah, and you stop at the top and you can see
like rock and stuff.
You can see rust stains everywhere.
And they hire people to come do that, like people, just normal people.
Yeah,
they
put out the job posting like, "Hey, you want to make $10 an hour? Come to the fairgrounds." I'm just like,
put this thing together that everybody's going to be,
Yeah, if I'm going to get on a roller coaster that can be on a semi truck in like an hour from now, I'm not going to do it.
Are you a roller coaster person though? Like if you went to like Six Flags or something,
it depends. So I went to Harry Potter World and they have a Hagrid roller coaster. That was amazing. That's awesome.
Are you scared of heights?
Not like that. I'm scared of walking out onto like a balcony that's like 100 stories up.
Oh yeah, that my hands will get sweaty and stuff. I'll start to I
went to New York City and stood on the top of the Empire State Building, and that was many years ago. That was terrifying. But being strapped in and you're on a track and you're moving, I don't know. For some reason it's not as bad. No, I'm pretty good with a nice smooth roller coaster. It just depends on how it's built. Some are like jerky.
Yeah, roller coasters, I don't have I used to be a huge roller coaster person, but the older I get, I used to not have a fear of heights either, but that's developed it for some reason. Yeah. I don't know why, because I haven't had like a traumatic experience, but I think watching those videos, you know how the people that walk like on top of skyscrapers, like insane. Daredevil people.
Yeah.
That freaks me out once I started like sweating and stuff, and like when I watch that kind of stuff, and I guess I developed it from that, but
I can't do that.
That makes me sick watching that.
There's a glass slide. I think it's in New York. Might even be in Empire State, but I don't know where it's at. It's a slide from one of the top stories. It goes on the outside of the building. It's clear. There's no way I could do that.
It goes around the building?
Yeah. It's a tube. You're enclosed and you can slide. But
did you say it's see-through?
It's see-through, so you look underneath.
Absolutely not.
No. No. Pivoting back to the fair, though, that's one thing. Let me tell you about the fair. Okay, this is one of those situations where I'm going to tell you to guess, and you're going to guess way too high and ruin it. But you know those little balloon pop? You toss the dart, pop the balloon, get a thing. And then the guy's always like, oh, you almost had it. If you can just get 2 more darts, you can get this big old thing for your daughter. How much do you think I spent popping balloons?
Well, first off, did you win? Did you get?
I got.
Okay, so
her a big
you did it for a long time. So it's like gambling, basically.
Not a long time. Let's say 5 minutes of throwing.
So
darts.
Did you kept buying more so you could keep trying, or like how does that?
Yeah. I think you got to buy them by the threes. I don't know. I'll tell you his tactic in a minute, but.
So I'm gonna guess 70.
Oh, you did it. You did just what I thought you were gonna do. 50. 50.
70's not too high.
To pop a balloon and get a $10.
Well, no, but 50's too high too. But
well, let me tell you how he did it. This is
it's your fault.
I think it's very deceptive. I mean, nothing new. This is what they do. So first of all, it's hard to just walk down. The what do they call it? The fairway or what? I don't know what they call it. Like where all the games are and all the rides are. Because when you pass, they're yelling at you like, "Hey, sir, come on over here."
It's like being in the mall and there's people in the middle trying to get you to buy something.
So these guys are like, "Get something for your daughter. Come on. Hey, you, come on. I see you right there. Look straight ahead. Don't look." And you feel bad because you're just straight up ignoring the crap out of them. But my daughter was not riding a lot of rides because she's very short for her age, so she wasn't qualifying for a lot of the rides. Wasn't having as great a time as we thought, so I was like, well, at least can do some fun games. So I was like, balloon pop, that can't be that much. So it was only $10 for a few darts.
Definitely your fault.
And so $10, it's obviously what they do is they don't inflate the balloons to where they're super ready to pop, because then it'd be
so you got to hit it hard.
You got to chunk it and you got to get in the right spot because they'll just bounce off the balloon. So
smart.
So they know what they're doing. So he said, "Oh, you didn't get anything, but here, man, here." And then he just handed me a dart. And of course, you're going to say, "Well, how much does this cost?" And he'll just say, he said, "Oh, no, $10. As in, like, you already paid $10. It's still $10. Making you think, "Oh, this is included in my $10. No, he means an additional $10. But he says it like, "Oh, no. It's $10. I was like, "Oh, okay." And he keeps handy darts. And he was like, "All right, you did it. She can pick one of these." And she picked the big bird, and he was like, $53. Oh.
Most expensive duck you could ever buy.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, dude, I could have got that stuffed animal for like literally $15.
So in this case, did you get talked into playing the first start, or is it just like you wanted to?
So I was ignoring everyone but no, eventually I was like, I want to go to the balloon pop. Braylee loves balloons, but then she wanted to throw the darts, and that obviously she can't even throw it anywhere near a balloon, and she might kill someone. And also the carnies want to get involved. Like, I'm trying to tell Braylee, like, "Hey, no, look, here, hold onto my hand and we'll throw it together," like trying to. So
you had no idea that it was going to be more than $10 this whole time?
No.
So would you have kept going?
No. I would have been like, "We'll stop by the store on the way home and get you whatever you want. We're not doing that."
So you could have spent $100 on it if you would have kept going.
Yeah, dude, the dude's
and just thinking it was $10.
He was like, "How much?" And yeah, because I was like, "Well, how much is that going to cost me? How much more?" $10. And I was like, "Oh, okay. Thanks, man." He was like, "No problem, man. What have you? So I went to the fair. Anything happened to you this week?"
What happened to me this week? What happened to me? My life is not fun anymore, dude. I'm old.
I'm very old.
I used to go out all the time, Not like out to the club or nothing. But
never. Me either.
The club's horrible. But
we did a lot of stuff.
Like I would just
we don't do now.
I would never stay home back in the day.
Right.
Nowadays, like I'm home every day.
But you used to come see me at work because I used to work a job where I was just literally security guard.
Everybody used to come see you at work. That was the hangout spot. Was outside of a car dealership.
I used to security guard a car dealership because they were afraid people were going to come steal like catalytic converters off of new cars. Overnight, just me, and the owner actually did not care because he said, "You are allowed to go look at cars at 2:00 in the morning." He don't care.
He didn't care.
He didn't care. That's why.
But if your boss found out about that,
generally they were just like, if the client don't care, then whatever, dude. Because that was a known thing. Like, you can't tell anybody to leave because they are allowed to be there. Obviously, they just can't go, cut parts off the car.
Okay.
But
what would you have done if somebody would have showed up and started taking parts off the car?
I definitely wouldn't have gone lizard lick on them. I would call the cops and be like, "Hey, I got some suspicious activity over here," because I don't want to go over there to him and spook him and he like stabs me in the face. So, but luckily that didn't happen. Now I've kicked people out because one thing they can't do, they were allowed to look at vehicles, but it's not, they can't just park. So I had a couple pull up, they parked, and they just start like making out. And so I walked up.
With you there?
Oh, yeah.
Did they know you were in your car?
I don't know if they knew I was in the car or what I was doing. I don't think they cared. But I knocked on the window, and he rolled it down, kind of like, yeah. And I was like, so unfortunately, you have to exit your vehicle and look at, you have to be walking around. They allow that. They don't want anyone loitering, just sitting in their car, making out. And he said, I bought this truck from this dealership for $8,000. I was like,
so now he can just go.
Okay.
He can just go hang out there now.
And I made the analogy. I was like, we bought some camping equipment from Walmart. Can I go pitch a tent in the electronics section now? I bought this tent from this Walmart. I can sleep here. Like, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And he didn't like that analogy very much. He was upset. But he did leave.
Well, you did your job then.
That's right. I did my job.
So that's what a security officer person does.
But now I feel like if it was these days, I'd be alone out there because everyone's grown up. We grew up. We had children.
You would be alone.
I'd be alone.
Yeah, I don't have time for anything anymore.
Yeah.
Except this podcast.
Because
we're saving lives.
We're saving lives.
We're saving lives.
Oh, I feel like even if we could, like if we had the freedom to do that again, number one, I wouldn't make it through a 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift these days anymore.
Dude, I could not last sitting in a car that long and just watching a place.
I don't think I could last from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. anymore. It's just not, even though I literally did it 2 years ago now, or a year and a half ago now, but it was good times.
I was like the Drake Bell going missing yesterday.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Do you know what happened?
That's a good topic. Why? So
he left his phone in the car.
Do you know why?
He literally just left his phone in the car overnight. That was it. And people thought he was.
So I was so confused. So I get on Facebook, and I thought it was a joke at first. My friend shared it, and my friend who shared it is just like a meme lord. I mean, he's a very good selector of the memes. I see a picture of Drake Bell, says missing or endangered Jared Bell, and I had a picture of him
That's his name?
Yeah, his name is Jared.
Jared Bell.
So I was like, I looked at the page, and it said last known location was a high school, and everyone's making fun of Jared Drake Bell because of the whole incident where he supposedly got inappropriate with a minor. But anyways, so I was like, oh, they're goofing on Drake Bell. Because there's so many Facebook pages that like are pretending to be a police department or some legit business, but they're just
this was real,
trolls.
It
was real. So I was like, oh, that's hilarious. And I was like, wait, this is a legitimate police department's Facebook page that they shared this from. So I look it up, and there's like missing and thought to be endangered. And I'm like, what does Drake Bell get into what happened? And who would kidnap Drake Bell?
And some obsessed fan from years ago, they've been waiting for the right moment to take him. But.
I mean, and how would you? I was like, he can't be, because how would Drake Bell go missing? Because
what would cause the police department to say that that he's in extreme danger or whatever is my question. When that's something you would say would be like, okay, I saw Drake walking down the road and someone kidnapped him and threw him in a van. That's that kind of situation. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's
not leaving your phone in the car every night.
Maybe because he's just. I wonder who reported him. Maybe one of his loved ones, because I know if my wife.
But do they even usually, unless they've changed this rule, you have to be missing for a certain amount of time before anybody looks?
Especially if you're an adult. Yeah, no, like if you're an adult.
Didn't they change that there?
It might be state to state. I don't know. Because I know people get so upset. Like every missing person documentary I've ever seen, every true crime thing I've ever seen, if it's an adult, it always starts with, I told the police, I called, and they said, well, she is an adult. We see
and then
no signs of foul
every
play.
Time they're
like,
they're
oops,
gone. Yeah.
She was dead, my bad. But yeah, it's weird since he's an adult how quickly.
I do understand the reasoning behind the fact that they need to wait to look, but just because like if they went and looked for every missing person, there wouldn't be enough cops.
It'd be like, oh, okay.
There's people that walk down the street and stuff,
well, because
and get lost or something and come back the next day and nobody,
Well, this situation right here is a perfect reason why they do have to wait, because he just left his phone in his car.
Now, if it's like a kid going missing, they need to look immediately.
Yeah, I think the law doesn't apply.
Or if there is a legitimate reason why you think that they're in danger.
Definitely the law is if you're a minor, it's automatic you're missing. Yeah. But I get it. Like if my wife, like I know my wife and she knows me, I know if she says, I'll be right back,
and she's not, then there's a problem.
And then all of a sudden she's not, and her phone, she's not responding to her phone. I mean, she's got an Apple Watch on her. Like,
yeah,
she knows. And we have read receipts, so she hasn't read my message. She hasn't even opened my message, and she's supposed to go. Like, yeah, that'd be like, I would know it's not right.
Yeah.
But then people run into the problem where it's like, no, I'm telling you, this isn't right, and the cops are like, well, she did leave on her own accord, and she's an adult.
Wasn't the time like 48 hours at one point?
There was something like that. That might have gotten, or like I said, it could be state to state.
That, to me, is a bit too long. I feel like after about 24 hours if you haven't heard from somebody, then you need to know something's wrong.
Which is important why, even if you're a hermit like me, let someone know where you're at. And
isn't the statistic like within, I think the show 48 hours or whatever it's called, not 48 hours, but
the first 48.
It's basically like if you don't solve this within the first 48 hours, it gets way harder.
Yeah, they say if you don't have a very strong lead in the first 48 hours, the chances go way down.
So, and if you're waiting 48 hours to even look for somebody, then you're kind of
then you're in trouble.
Wasting.
What comedian had a great bit about that show and the title? There was some comedian that was saying like, the show, the first 48, they'll be like, hey man, you solved that murder? That was Monday, bro. This is Wednesday. We're doing different stuff now.
Did you ever watch that show?
First 48?
Yeah.
Yes. Not to keep referencing this, I think it was Tom Segura. He pointed this out, and I had already noticed this before I watched this comedy. Man, people on there will they need to lie better, or they need to get an attorney. Hey, we saw you at the gas station with this guy, and they'll be like, yeah, I killed that guy. It's like, what? Whoa, what? Just say, no, it wasn't me.
Why'd you do that?
Oh, man. I've always noticed, because I watch a lot of police interrogation footage, and people, you shouldn't lie. Tell the truth. But you're going to make that choice to lie.
When it's appropriate to lie, you need to stick with your lie.
If you're going to make the choice to lie.
I really enjoy watching interrogation videos.
I do too.
Like murder cases and stuff. Like, they come in so confident that they're not going to find anything on me. Yeah. And then they just start pouring out evidence. And they're like, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
I don't know.
I didn't do that. I wouldn't do. Why would I kill my husband? Your fingerprints were there. There's blood on your shirt.
Dude, I watched a video the other day. They are pulling this guy's Google searches and reading them off in court. Oh my gosh. I got to find that clip for a future episode. It's like, okay, at midnight, he searched, when does a dead body start to smell? At 1 a.m. he searched, how to get rid of body smell. At 2 a.m. he searched, how to hide a body, where to hide a body. At 5 a.m. he searched, how long before police start looking for a man?
Was he going for innocence there? Was he?
Yeah, the guy was like,
I was just
curious, man. Is it illegal to search that kind of stuff?
Yeah. Well, when you kill somebody.
Well, funny enough.
Why would you not delete your Google stuff if you were looking at?
I'm like, man,
at some point you got to realize they got me. Okay.
They got me. Also, how about because a coroner can pinpoint a time of death. Like, okay, she died around midnight to 1 a.m. At the same time he's searching, what do I do with this dead body? Maybe search that stuff beforehand and know what you're gonna make a plan. Plan your murders. That's the moral of the story. Make sure you have a solid murder plan.
We're supposed to be saving lives on this podcast, right. Not helping them out, telling them advice.
Right. Yeah, I can see it now. Someone's gonna
just letting everybody know.
Yeah.
Delete your history.
Delete your history. Plan your murders. Yeah.
Never give up.
Always lie. But it does kill me though. In these interrogations, people are, instead of going nope, doesn't ring a bell. They go, okay, so look, the reason, so I was there, but you see, because what happened, I'm just like.
When you start building onto your story and adding things that no one cares about, that's when you should probably realize that it's a lie. Because I went in there, I had to wash my hands, I did all this other stuff. Then
it's like, okay, why'd you do that?
Because if you were telling the truth, you wouldn't say you wouldn't add all this extra stuff. You just be like, yeah, I was there, but it was because of this one specific reason.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah.
If it was true, you'd be like, yeah, I was there, but this is why, and it will be a reason that made sense.
Yes.
Did you? it's like, did you hear the viral clip that went around of the kid that got caught looking at bad stuff on the computer?
No.
It's a viral sound clip. He was like, Mom, I was surfing the internet, okay, and I thought I might have had a virus, so I was freaking out, and I got really scared. So like I slipped, and my pants got pulled down just a little bit, and so I was pulling them back. And his mom was like, "That doesn't make any sense." Just when you just go, "Yeah, I didn't search that."
People just need to become better liars. That's all.
Just be better liars.
Or hey, don't lie.
Just don't lie.
Don't do bad things.
Don't do bad things.
All
right. Well,
we don't know how to end this podcast, so
yeah. So whatever you're watching us on, because we're on YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, everything. So whatever you're watching us on, like, subscribe, follow, whatever it is on your platform of choice. That helps us the most, because this podcast is brought to you by us. So we'll see you next time.